Greetings, everybody. Amar here, and this is a workout for the New York Take 5. Now, I've been watching the 17 for some time now, and it's got 7 cold periods. So I've been playing it. I was looking for a flag. So here's the 17 here. Okay, this is a dormant period, 11. And then you had this repeat. This repeat is the trend reversal hit. Okay, now what happened is that you didn't get a flag. You would have been looking at around 5. It didn't come a flag. You got this skip 9. Now usually what will happen is when the flag stretches past 5 and goes to 9, it'll snap back. So it's an easy way to think of it. It stretches and then it snaps back really fast. And this is when I was playing it. I was looking for a hot skip. I didn't get it. But now I'm predicting it's going to go to a 9-9 bottom. So I thought the 17 was going to come in adjacent after the 18 here. It didn't. And then I'm thinking now it's going to come in off the 18 adjacent again. Now 9 and 7 are a bottom, okay? But it's on the downside. I was looking for 9-9 exact symmetry. I'm predicting that when it goes 9-9, it'll hit. And then when it hits, it'll get hot and hitting after that. It's been so cold that it's coming in very slow. Sometimes the number when it's very cold will come in like super fast. Like it'll just go like 1-1-1. Like take for instance here the number 1. That'll happen. Now it becomes tricky because when you see a number so cold, you say, I don't think it's going to get hot fast. Sometimes it does get hot fast. So if you play it and you're thinking that it's going to get hot fast, like over here, that's very good. Now, if you're thinking it's going to get hot fast and it doesn't, and it gets hot slow like this, then it becomes a little bit more of a challenge because now there's a waiting game. All right. So this is chart 4. I put these colors in. I'm making skip classifications in regards to what Gail Howard says in the book. I'm breaking down categories so that I can better differentiate cascades and reverse cascades. So, for instance, 9-7 is technically a reverse cascade still, right? And 9-9 will be symmetry. Now, as the 9 approaches as you approach skip 9 here with the 17, the 9 becomes supported by this 11. That's what she says in the book. Now, it doesn't always work 100%, but sometimes it works very good, and I think in this case it may work. So just quickly, 2 other numbers that I've been looking at here is the 10. So these reds are hot and hitting. So this is a skip 2, a skip 3. You had a 2 and then a 0, 0, 3, and then a 1. So this is also a hot. But this is the classic flag, the 1-5, okay? And then you had a downstroke of the 2, and then another downstroke. So you wind up getting cascades and reverse cascades within the flag formations. Cascades go up to 6, reverse cats go down to 0. If you have an intermediate flag formation, the cascade can go all the way up to 9. So this is a cascade to 9 within the streak. And that's the best way to define streaks between 0 and 9. Because once you go out of 9, you're going into the next dormant period. So when she talks about her definition of cascade, I only agree to it to a certain point. And I'm redefining it because I think it makes it better to be able to predict when a cold number will get hot. So you have also here the 17. Here was the skip 25, and here's the skip 3. This is the trend reversal skip, right? Now, you don't know if it's a trend reversal or if it's a technical correction until you continue, because it could just go skip 3, and then it can go to skip 9, and then, or it could go to skip 3 and go to skip 10. So that's why she says to usually play it for 6 draws up to skip 6, but I disagree with that. I think you only play it for 4 draws up to skip 3, because after skip 3, now the probability distribution of that particular skip is getting worse, and reverse flags are very difficult. You'd have to track that pattern specifically. Okay, so anyway, this is the chart 4. Okay, drawing sense hit chart, and the other thing here is you have the 18 came in at 30, and then see this is the back door. This is what I mean with the back door. So this is 6. This is a skip 6. Where here a skip 3 would be a front door because it's a reverse flag. So I'm thinking of it kind of like the parable of a house, and that's where I'm getting that terminology from. So you have 6, 1. You had your hot skip here, and now it looks like it's going to go down to 0. 6, 1, 0, and then you're going to have the 17 come in as the bottom, and you have a 17, 18 pair. So this is pretty straightforward. However, I'm not sure if the numbers are trending low or trending high. It's very difficult because high numbers were cold for a while, and you had all these low numbers, and I'll show that on a separate chart. Before we get there, I'm just going to look at chart 4B. So I made the 4B here, and over here I've made the same notations. Okay, so here this pink is the flag formation. Now the hot skips and the flag are both pink here. I'm not making a distinction. But I am making a distinction between the intermediate skip. This is the skip 7 and 8. This is when it appears that the number is cascading out of the streak. And that's why it becomes tricky. That's the trickiest pattern. That's why a lot of people have trouble with the flag formation. That's just an added complexity that she doesn't really discuss or address in the book. So looking at the 17, going back in history, here's the 17. This is the entire history of the game. It's plus 52 for its history. And so here it had a streak, right? 25, 5, 1. So I consider this a streak. And there's 3 hits in the streak. Here's another streak, 3 hits. Another streak, 3 hits. So this came in reverse, this came in reverse, this came in reverse. But these are all streaks after only one dormant period. So one dormant period, here's your streak. One dormant period, streak. One dormant period, streak. One dormant period, streak. One dormant period, streak. And then here you had 2 dormant periods. I consider the 11-5 a technical correction. It's an insignificant blip. Now certainly you can bet on that second skip. I don't like to bet on it because sometimes it goes 11-9. But if you do look for the hot skip, then certainly you can maximize your wagering strategy and minimize your losses. So over here, so this one is actually, let's see, this could be like one dormant period, and then this could be the second one. So this is 1 here. So this is dormant period, and then another dormant period. So you have 1, 2, and then you have this streak here. This is a long streak where it was 0, 0, 4. So and another thing, a lot of times I look flag, and you say, okay, so you got the 0, 0. I'm going to look 5, but it didn't get to 5. It got to 4. So then you would have to play the symmetry. So it's kind of like you're playing with the skip 5. And so here it went to 3, 6. But you see, this, I would call this a pure flag because it didn't go past the maximum of 6. So here's your last streak. And then now you have another, here's 1 dormant period, 2 dormant periods, 3 dormant periods, 4 dormant periods. These are the 4 colors that I use. That's over here. This is the acronym. So, but then you have 5 dormant, 6 dormant, 7 dormant. Okay, and then you had the trend reversal, but it cascaded out to 9. So that was tricky. I dumped it after 3 because I didn't know what it could do. I thought it could go to another cold period. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought it could go to 8 cold periods or 8 dormant periods. So now this 9 is the bottom of the 11. Okay, and here the 9, the last bottom after the 11 would be here the 10, and the last time you had an intermediate skip over here was back in this streak. So you had 8, 7, 7, 8. So this is where the skip chart would come in handy because now you're looking to see the probability that this intermediate skip is going to come in. Because you could have a situation where now instead of a flag formation or hot and hitting, you're getting a lot of 11, 0, 9, 0, 9, 0, 7. That can happen, and that can happen for a longer amount of time. So this is here, the 17, so I'm pointing at it here. The 7 is the bottom of the 9 on the downside. Well, 7 is the bottom of the 9, and it's symmetrical on the downside, okay, because 9 equals 9, 9 equals 7, 9 equals 8, 9 equals 10, 9 equals 11. Those are the symmetrical bottoms. When it's on the downside, it's better because now your momentum is down towards 0. If it was 9, 11, now your momentum is up towards another dormant period. So here's the 1, 18, 1, 1. Now it skips 0. This one had only 1 dormant period, 2 dormant periods. So this is good because, and this you should print out and you should mark it in this fashion, in my opinion. I think it works best like this. So I didn't mark everything because you could be marking this thing just ad infinitum. And so here's the 18. Here here's a streak. Okay, so here you had, let's see. So here was your last streak here. 167403, and then you had one dormant period, two dormant period, three dormant periods. Then you had 1, 2, 3. So then you have another streak there. It's kind of crappy. 6, 8. 8 is symmetrical to the 6 on the upside. And then you had one dormant period, and then you had hot and hitting 1, 3, and then a 5. And now you had one dormant period, two dormant periods, and now you're coming in reverse. 6, 1, 0. So I think that the 0 skip is going to happen. You're going to have a 17, 18 neighboring pair here. And this is for the total history of the game. The 22 the 18 is plus 22, and the 17 is plus 52. And you contrast that to a number like the 9, which is negative 34. But the 9 happens to be also on a streak. You can see 35, one dormant period. Here's your trend reversal. Upstroke to the 7, symmetry to the 7, downstroke to the 2, and now you have symmetry on the upside. So the 9 is in there. But the problem is I can't tell if the trend is going towards high or low. So it's a little bit tricky, and I'll show that over here on my other, the big dish. So in the big dish, here is the 7 again. Here's 6 dormant periods, 7 dormant periods. Here's the repeat, and now you had the upstroke of the 9. This is, I had the red box here. I'm looking for the hot skip. I don't get it. So now I'm looking for the adjacent off of the 18, looking for a symmetry, 7, 9. So I should actually have this little bugger marked. So let me mark it. So I'll copy this guy here, and I'll just paste it here. And I'm going to, that's my prediction. So right now, the number that I'm looking for most is the 17. So this, all my combinations are based on the 17. So just a quick recap on this chart. This is the date column here. There's the sums. These are gaps. These are spreads from first number to the fifth number. This is also spreads, okay, where these hits represent this blue. So this is like a Fibonacci spread. And then this is skips. This is sum of skips. And of course, this is the dish. This is the draw. These are the numbers. So when I look at this information much deeper here, and this is another dish. It's ones instead of, and this is also, this is last digits. This is last digits. Here's the date. Here's the numbers again. Here's 4 numbers low, 4 numbers mid, 4 numbers high. Group 1, minimum 3. Group 2, minimum 3. Group 3, minimum 3. And then let's just see what else. Units, teens, 20s, 30s. Orange means multiple hits. Black means 0 hits. So basically, this is for scoring. This is for not scoring. So if you look at let's get it all the way over here. All right. So if you look at 4 numbers low, you had a hot and hitting thing here, right? This is where I was hoping for the 17, and you had a low here, 8, 10, 17, 19. This is the one where I think that I was really close. I'm not sure if I played here. We won something. Lucky Ducky, my benefactor, she played for me, and we won. I don't remember exactly what date. I'll have to do a separate video showing that win. It was a 3-number win, and so she has the ticket and she has the winnings or whatever. So she'll probably play for me again, but I'm not seeing anything clear. So with the 4 lows here, you can see it was high and hitting here, and then you had the skip 8. Here was your, actually I shouldn't have a mark there because that's only 3 on the low. So okay, so see, that's a mistake. Sometimes I make an error, and that'll just kind of screw up also my prediction. So let me clean this up here, because I thought this was an 8-8 bottom, but it's not an 8-8 bottom. See, an 8-8 bottom is good because it's perfect symmetry. But now when you get it on an 8-9 bottom, the symmetry is on the upside, so it becomes a little bit more risky. All right, so now if I remark that here, okay, so it's 8-9 symmetry. So you're still symmetrical, and so now it's a little clearer. Since it's 9 symmetry on the upside, I'm thinking that you're going to cascade out to another dormant period for 4 numbers low. Whereas this is where Lucky Ducky, she wanted to play a all high wheel because the low the bias in the Gail Howard program was very, very favored towards, well, it was biased as overdue for high, but she didn't get any 5s. She only got 4, and so it became tough. You know, I think she started over here, and this is where I was like, play the low, right? I think, yeah, this is the one that hit. That's what happened. She wanted to do an all high wheel. So I said, it's too risky. So I said, okay, so if you're going to do whatever, $30 high wheel, cover with this one low line. And this is the low line that hit. So this 7, 10, 15, 16. So I got the 7, 15, 16. I didn't get the 10, and I was kind of kicking myself for not picking the 10. But anyway, so this, I won, well, she won with this low result. But then you had the flag. The flag is now for 4 highs. So I'm looking for 17, 18, but since this is a flag, right? So I think it's going to be, I think that you're going to look, it's going to be high. I think the number is going to be high um, based on this, based on the fact that this is a symmetry on the upside and you could go out. But even if it goes to skip 10, you could come back fast because the support here is on the 12, right? As it's going to be, as you approach 12, the support is now over here. Okay, so I hope that's not too confusing, but anyway, so I'm looking for high. Now the other thing that's happening here, you can see, so group 1, and that's from 1 to 13, is also an upstroke, 8 games. So I don't like those. Anything on the upstroke is bad, in my opinion. It's risky, and that's why when Gail Howard says that the best pattern is an upstroke at skip 5, it's questionable because it's an upstroke. If you're in a flag formation, you want the symmetry within the flag, and really, it'd be wiser to play the downstroke within the flag because the downstroke is 0, 1, or 2. Okay, and if you expand it, it's 3. So, and you can see here, so the second group, and that's 14 to 26. You see 24, 14, it's in a down formation. But you can see the third group is now hot. You see, you had this symmetry, you had the 10, 6, you had the reverse flag, and then you had the symmetry, 6, 7 on the upside, and then you had it snapped back here with the hot skip. And now you have hot in the higher group. So this is a trend, okay? This is when she says the trend is your friend. Here it is. This is the trend. The trend is high, okay? So Lucky Ducky was looking for, the trend was low here. She was looking for the trend to switch. And that's what becomes tricky, is the switching part. Because you know it's going to switch, and sometimes it just switches too slow, and by then you've already blown your wad. So, and by wad, I mean the money in your wallet, okay, your cash. So here you have this. This is the 30s. So here the 30s, you can see, are in a trend. So 30s is pretty good here. And that's minimum number is 3 within the 30s. Okay, so in the 30s, if we go back to here, the dish, you can see you have the 37, which is 3, 4, 4, 0, and now you have the symmetry on the 4. So that looks pretty good. You have also this adjacent, the 38 looks good. 35, the top skip is best skipper for number 35 is skip 1. What else? The 31 here has been hot. This 27 is coming in reverse, backdoor 5, 0. So this is cascading in, right? She says reverse cascade, but to me that's totally confusing. So cascade in, or you cascade out. Cascade in means you come into a 0. Cascade out means you're cascading out towards infinity. So 16, 10, 5. The number is coming in. It's cascading in. What else? What else? What else? Those are, I guess, the favorites I see on the high side. So I might just do a small wheel with that and throw them on the boards and see how they look. See how I do. And maybe keep the 7 and the 18. Because maybe you'll only have 3 high and you'll have 2 low instead of having 4 high, as is kind of predicted over here with this, showing 4 high. Or it could come low. It could come with the 8-9 symmetry. But that's why it gets too tricky. Because the 1 could repeat here. You could have the 10, which is over here. This flag formation could stay. So you could still have. So I might forward the combination, because this is the combination. Other combination that I was playing was the 1, 10, 15, 16, 17, and that was to try to trap 4 numbers. But that's what it is. I really don't have a clear picture if it's going to come low or high. Now, if this was, let's say, if this 19 had continued and you were like this at skip 39, I would say, okay, we're going to stay with the low trend because the high is broken. You just don't even know what's going to happen. But In this case, it's not short because it came in at a relatively small dormant period of 19 games, and then you had your flag formation. And let's put our flag formation back. There it is. And so we have, what else? What else we got? We got not responding. Oh, okay, that was pretty short. Sometimes I get a no response like that for a long time, and it's very frustrating when you get your chart so large like this. And this is Loki. Loki did this. Loki's always busting my balls. You know, he's always busting Thor's balls. Son of a bitch. Anyway, so what else? Yeah, I'll send you some money next month. I'm not gonna pay for charts if I can't play. And I don't know if I'm gonna go back next month because next month, anyway, it's a complicated situation. So let's see. The other thing was okay, Papa Bear. I was telling you, no 20s. The chart that I made was a 4B for the 20s. I'm going to redo the chart and I'll email it to you. It takes me a half an hour to redo that chart, and I've been squandering a lot of time. So I'm going to do one for you and one for Lucky Ducky. So that's a half an hour and a half hour. So that's an hour. But if I get myself motivated, I'll do it. And it's good because I'll do that one, the 720, and it should be easier for you to see when the trend is going to change. So this was very hot over here. So this is like, this was where okay, this is the winner over here. 7, 10, 15, 16. So I was saying, okay, play this. But now you can see the flag formation has continued. And the green here is flag formation for numbers not hitting. I'm making that to contrast numbers hitting with the pink. Okay, so this is like, this is for score, this is for not score. And then over here, I got more crap. This is the sums. So here you can see, so here was the trend for, this was the hit over here. Let's get this out of here. This is, move this so we don't get distracted. Here's the hit, 7, 10, 15, 16. So here's the hit. So I saw that you had a high hitting on the low. So I said, okay, it's going to continue. All right. Now it didn't continue per se. Actually, oh, okay. You didn't get the low sum, but you did get the 4 numbers low. Whenever the low sum is here, I generally play all 5 numbers on the low side, and I try to catch a 4 numbers. And I could do it. I've done it before, but I missed this fucking 10. So that was annoying. And where was the 10? And the 10 was certainly advisable, because here it was. You see, I could have played the 10. This is I don't remember the other numbers that I played. I think it was, what was, I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, I'll do a separate video regarding that win, and that's where it is. So when the lows are hot and hitting, I said, all right, I figure the sum lows will continue, but they didn't continue. But you still got the 4 numbers low, and the sum came in around 81. So I'll just skip here. And this is units. This is for two decades not scoring. So here you can see also this was 4 cold periods. Had the repeat stretched out to 8, 5, had the symmetry 8 to 8. So this is also another flag that I've used. So I look at so many different variables and I look for the flag formation in all of them. When Gail Howard says play the flag formation, she's only looking at the drawing sense hit chart. These are all advanced flags. And there's more flags. I don't know, there's probably, as far as flag formations, possible flag formations, they got to be infinite, because you can just combine all the different variables in so many different ways. And that's why she had a video on combinatorics. But if you do a search on Google for combinatorics, you don't see that video that she's in. So I'm going to have to ask Joe, wow, what happened to that video? Bring that video back. I mean, where is it? I mean, why is it not there? I remember it being there because I was like, oh shit, she's actually talking about advanced mathematics, not just simple flag formations. So what else? Oh, high. So you can see that the high came in here finally, the high sum. This is where, but you only had 3 numbers on the high side, 32, 34, 35. So if she was doing a high wheel, she would have at best only caught 3 numbers. So now here's your flag for a high sum. And the high sum is a range, I think it's from, I don't remember. I think it's 126 up. And this low sum I think is 74 low. I'd have to check the conditional formatting to see what I did the conditions as. So here 12-9 is on the downside, but there's no symmetry. As it approaches 10, the symmetry gets better. 10, 11, 12, the symmetry gets better and the support is better. But here you have 2-5, and here's an upstroke. So I think you're going to get high here based on this sum flag and based on the other 4 minimum. And these are also more advanced. I don't want to explain that. Yeah, I gotta redo that. This is also 4 cold periods, though. You can see this. This has to do with low odd, high even, low even, high odd, and I kind of add. So this is another combinatorial thing, and I gotta look for the flag. But I just wrote the macro, so I'll have to do that and look at it in the macro and see how it looks. Because the 720 4B I think is much better than the regular 4B that Joe has. And of course, you could mark it yourself. I mean, Joe's 4B is great, and I actually export that 4B, and I can do the 720. But what am I talking about? The But I can make the skips myself, so I don't really need his 4B. And anyway, I got to take the 4B and I got to spin it around. So I got to ask him, why is he making me spin it around? I think that's because Gail Howard didn't want that chart exportable, and so it becomes sometimes confusing because you got to read it from left to right, and now you got to read it from right to left, and you can make easy mistakes with that. And then this is just more crap. Another drawing sense hit chart over here, expansive, and I guess that's it. So I'm just going to look at one last flag formation. Has to do with L5. This is where Gail Howard says it is best to play only numbers within the last 5 games. And so you get, these are all the skips here. I just made this. You can see how crazy all these flags are. Now, if I had somebody advanced who could do this, that would help. I think Loki could do it. I'll pay him next month and see what he can do. But he's always busting my balls. Okay. He's always busting everybody's balls. But he's a good guy overall. So here's the flag. 4 within the last 5 games. Here's the data. Here's the skip. And you can see here's the flag formation. And here are all my predictions. I put a little red mark because I say, all right, I'm looking for 4 numbers within the last 5. So this is a very good filter because when you know that you're going to have 4 numbers, or at least when you anticipate you're going to have 4 numbers within the last 5, you just put numbers in your wheel that are less than skip 6. So I'm going to do it again. We'll see. And this is a very, very, very good flag formation. So here, I was looking for a 1-5. I marked it here. It came 1-6. And you had a downstroke, and then you had the classic 1-5. And then you had downstroke 1, downstroke 0. So here it went down. It cascaded into 0. And the thing is that you see 4 in the last 5. What makes it tricky is because you can have a dormant period also with this particular variable. And here you go. You had 12 games in a row with no number, without having 4 numbers in the last 5. And this is 5 numbers within the last 10. So these are 2 additional flag formations. So this is just the combinatorial madness. But if you go on Wikipedia and you look at combinatorics, it'll explain it as a different branch of mathematics. And that's basically what I'm doing here with all these flag formations. Here's 2 numbers repeating, and this is Raging Cajun's favorite pattern. 2 intermediate skips, meaning having 2 of 7, 8, or 9. This also goes dormant periods and also follows what I call the Gail Howard algorithm. So hope that wasn't too much information for everybody, but we'll see. I'll see how Papa Bear is feeling regarding playing for me today, and I'll dig deeper within Advantage Gold. I'll dig deeper and I'll see what looks good with this neighboring pair 17-18, and with the focus and emphasis on 37, 35, 31, 32 is adjacent, 34 is adjacent. So here is a 34 is the upstroke and a flag, 0-6. So if it hits, then you look for a quick return, hot skip, downstroke to 0. All right, questions, comments, all that good stuff. And Facebook group is Amar GH Lotto. It is a secret group. That is my team. We're going to be hopefully going for the pool next month. It's difficult. It's hard to, it's logistically difficult. But that's my goal. And if I go back, I might have to go back to New York because I don't trust anybody to play the tickets for me on this side. I trust them to play the tickets, but the last time I told my uncle to go play for me, I gave him $5. I said, play these numbers. I did a workout for like 3 hours, and then he doesn't play him. I said, what happened? Why don't you play him? Says, well, you're not going to win anyway. It's like, ah, God. So that's a big risk with him now. And I was hoping because I found a store where they let me play lotto with a credit card. I've only found 2 stores like that in all of the state that let me do that. And one of them, they only said that I could do it. I actually didn't do it because I wasn't prepared. But the other one, I was prepared and I did play. So, but then I got to play multi-draw. Multi-draws are difficult because let's say you're looking for a hot skip here with the 17, right? You're looking for a hot skip and you play a multi-draw. You're saying, okay, I'm playing a multi-draw because I think it's gonna hit and I think it's gonna repeat, but then it doesn't hit and it goes to skip 9. So now you're already locked in with your money. There's nothing you can do. So the group has a couple of questions. Hope you can answer them. If I get another response where someone wants to get in and you can't answer the questions, I will make a specific video giving answers to those questions, which I haven't done yet. But the 4 people that tried to get into the group, I tried to, I spoke to them in private and they didn't respond. So they're just still waiting. And that's about it. So comments, questions. If there's a specific state you want me to do a workout for, I can do a workout for you. I'm going to do workouts for certain different states. Promoting this program, I'm also going to be trying to get Pick 3 into this program, trying to make it a win-win scenario because my Pick 3 chart, it would be helpful if I had assistance with the Pick 3 chart. I mean, my New York Pick chart is pretty good, so. But if I fall behind, it's always good to have something that's automatically updated, or but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But that'll also give other people an advantage that play because if they can have they can have the they can have the data within the program, then they may buy the program. So it's kind of like promotional stuff, I suppose. But I mean, I bought it, I use it, I like it. I just sent Joe a comment on an error that I found. I said, this has to be fixed. This is just bothering me. It was bothering me for a while, but I didn't really care because I did everything in Excel anyway. But it should be fixed anyway. There's no point in saying, hey, buy this, but this thing doesn't work. It's like saying, hey, buy this car, but watch out. The radiator leaks or something. So yeah, don't want to be a hypocrite. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Good luck. Happy number hunting.